I drink one of these probably every day. I work a 9 to 5 and I'll usually slowly consume it throughout the day. In fact, I think this one's empty. In college, I usually had 1 to 3 of these every single day. And if you met me in college, I likely had a Monster Energy in my hand. Many said that Monster ran through my veins and 'twas the reason my favorite color is green. However, it is said that Monster is really terrible for you, and having a can in my hand basically all day, I was not free from people reminding me. So, why am I not dead yet? Monster, as well as other energy drinks, are under constant scrutiny, and despite my love for Monster specifically, I don't really like other energy drinks. With this in mind, I'm going to do my best to keep an unbiased approach to answering questions many have about energy drinks. I'm not a doctor or a nutritionist, so if you have any questions regarding you and energy drinks, it'll be best to ask your doctor. Now then, let's hop right into it, shall we? To really get answers, one must always look at the nutrition facts. They're available on just about everything we consume, and they're a great way to see what's in your food. Looking at my Monster, we can see that it doesn't look much different than a soda. Lots of calories, lots of sodium, and lots of sugar. However, there are some differences, specifically all this stuff down here, including a lot of stuff in the ingredients that isn't necessarily listed up around here. So what is all this stuff? Well, let's start with the easy stuff. First, we have carbonated water, which is, carbonated water. We have glucose, which is sugar. Citric acid comes from citrus fruits and provides taste. Then taurine, which is really the first thing I have to explain. In high school, I had always heard that taurine came from bull testicles, and it was the reason Red Bull is called Red Bull. However, this isn't true at all, and instead, taurine is actually good for you. Taurine is a naturally occurring amino acid, and you actually produce it yourself. Taurine is actually used for people with heart problems and diabetes, as it is an essential amino acid that assists in blood sugar control, and it helps with blood flow. Moving on, we have sodium citrate, which is used for most things, and it's used for taste. Panax ginseng extract, which is an extract from the Asian ginseng plant that can be used to promote brain and heart health. And L-carnitine, which is another naturally occurring amino acid. L-carnitine is what helps your body convert fat into energy, and then the L-tartrate helps your body actually use the L-carnitine. Both of which are used by athletes, and there isn't any data suggesting that they're not safe. Caffeine, which is a stimulant found in all energy drinks and most coffee. Sorbic acid, which is a natural preservative. Benzoic acid, which is also a natural preservative. Sucralose, which is an artificial sweetener. Salt, which is, of course, the stuff that makes things salty. D-glucuronolactone, which is a naturally occurring metabolite that promotes energy and cardiovascular health. Inositol is a type of sugar that aids in balancing certain chemicals in the body. Then we have guarana extract, which comes from the guarana plant and is very similar to caffeine. Maltodextrin, which is a kind of sweetener derived from starches like corn and rice. And of course, after which we have niacinamide, pyroxidine hydrochloride, riboflavin, and cyanocobalamin, all of which are B vitamins. B vitamins are a family of 8 vitamins that help the body process food into energy. They're also water soluble, so if you have too much, you can just pee the excess out. If you're still paying attention, you might have noticed that all the ingredients in Monster are actually derived from natural sources and might even be healthy for you. So, you might be thinking, wow, are Monsters actually healthy? And the answer is
no, God! No, God, no! 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 No!
The healthy ingredients I mentioned, like taurine, ginseng, and L-carnitine, actually are in such a small dose that there isn't any real therapeutic benefit received from them in an energy drink. And then you still have to deal with all the other sugars, sodium, and that stuff, which is bad for you. Despite this, all the other ingredients seem rather innocuous though, so what's the problem? Well, friends, it's the caffeine. So if you're a coffee drinker, then you're not doing any better than someone who consumes Monster or another kind of energy drink. The recommended maximum amount of caffeine consumption a day is 400 milligrams. An 8-ounce cup of coffee has about 100 milligrams of caffeine, and a 16-ounce can of Monster has 160 milligrams of caffeine. So a whole can of Monster has a little less caffeine than 2 cups of coffee. However, this amount is way under the 400 milligram threshold and therefore pretty harmless in moderation, which is the key word here, isn't it? If you consume a ton of coffee, you're in just as much danger of suffering detrimental health effects as someone who drank an equal amount of energy drinks. Caffeine is dangerous in excess, regardless of what form it comes in. My freshman year of college, I had 8 Monsters in a 24-hour period. This amounted to about 1,280 milligrams of caffeine. I passed all my finals, but suffered heart palpitations, as well as a general paranoia, but that was likely due to my assignments. When my wife was in high school, she drank 13 cups of coffee, which amounts to about 1,300 milligrams of caffeine, and she reportedly was aware of her skin vibrating, whatever that means. I have lots of stories from friends who consumed a lot of caffeine in a short amount of time who experienced something similar. All of us are lucky and survived only because we spread out our caffeine intake over a long period of time, but we still experienced negative effects. However, some people aren't as lucky and have actually died from consuming too much caffeine. In my EMT days, I had a paramedic friend who told me that he picked up a teenage patient who was experiencing cardiac arrest. The patient survived thanks to CPR and help from medical experts, and they were in the ICU for several days. My friend later found out that the patient had caffeine toxicity because they had an estimated 24 cups of coffee in about 3 hours. That's a lot of caffeine. If you don't want to do the math, that's 2,400 milligrams, which is 6 times the daily recommended amount. That patient consumed in a few hours what my friends and I would have consumed over several days. Caffeine, like everything else, can be enjoyed in moderation, and sometimes it's what you need to get through the day or through your finals. Do your best, though, to stay under 400 milligrams a day, though be aware everyone is different and you may not be able to handle large amounts of caffeine. So if you get jittery after 1 cup of coffee, it might be safer for you to stay way under the recommended daily amount of caffeine. So yes, Monster can be dangerous, but so can coffee. So if you're a consumer of anything containing caffeine, it's your job as a consumer to moderate your intake. If you don't consume caffeine, so now you think you're on some sort of high horse, focus your attention elsewhere. Keep in mind that more people have died just today from tobacco or alcohol than have ever died from energy drink consumption. So if you want something to fight or complain about, there are much bigger fish to fry than energy drinks.